Hi everyone, this is the weather hazard briefing for Sunday, April 23rd from the National Weather Service office here in Pocatello, Idaho. We've got more rain and snow ahead coming up in the forecast, so plenty to talk about over the next several days. As for our Sunday, we are going to be warming up a few more degrees today, and precipitation will return later as we go into this evening and tonight. With that, we may even hear a few rumbles of thunder. That continues into Monday as our next system moves in. More scattered rain showers for us throughout the day on Monday. Snow is going to be mainly limited to the much higher elevations, about 7,500 feet and above. For areas down in the southeastern part of the state, snow levels will be a little bit lower up into parts of the central mountains, where you'll kind of be more so on the colder backside of the system for more time versus those of us in the southern and eastern side of the state here, where we'll be in the warmer side of the system more often. Again, chance for some showers and thunderstorms, and then rain on snow, of course, will promote faster melting, so still going to be keeping a close eye on flooding concerns as we go through this week ahead. Looking at some of our forecasted river gauges, we'll likely see some of those rising a bit as we get into the second half of the week, again behind some of the melting and the rain in the first part of the week here. As for what we've got going on this morning on satellite, you can see more of the cloud cover and moisture working its way in from just off to our west, but as of right now, early this morning, things are relatively quiet here in eastern Idaho, but again, we'll see that changing as we go throughout the day today. So as far as our weather risk outlook grid, you can see a lot of green technically, especially as we get into the second half of the week ahead. Our weather itself will be fairly quiet. Again, we're still going to be warming up at that point and doing some more melting. But kind of the first half of this is where we've got some more of the active weather. Once we get into later today, we'll see some spotty evening showers and maybe a rumble of thunder here or there. Certainly won't be for everyone. And some of those showers will be a bit more few and far between, similar to what we've seen over the last couple days. Monday, not exactly the nicest weather day of the week. We'll see a bit of a rain and snow mix as you get into the higher elevations. Those of us at lower elevations, pretty much all rain. It'll be windy too, especially as we go Monday night into early Tuesday. That's going to be when those winds pick up the most. And again, once we get into Tuesday, the system will be moving out, so any of our early morning rain snow will be wrapping up. But really, Tuesday morning is going to be the best chance for more widespread snow down here into the lower elevations, as we see the potential for a little bit of a convergence band trying to set up. And again, that doesn't necessarily mean a lot of snow for us. In fact, you'll see not a whole lot when we look at our potential totals coming up in a few graphics. Again, as far as any watches or warnings go for our area, just the flood advisory still for Franklin County, and that will continue. Up north, we do have a winter storm watch that is technically outside of our area. Snow totals are expected to be a little bit higher into parts of Montana there. So again, we've had high pressure trying to work its way in for the weekend here, but it's been fairly weak, keeping us more so in northwesterly flow, and that's going to get pushed farther out of the area later today as that next system starts to move in. See that cold front out to our west. As far as temperatures, though, we will be a little bit warmer today, with more of us making it back into the low to mid 50s. Could even see a few low 60s down through parts of the Magic Valley. That's where there's the slightly better chance to hear a few rumbles of thunder as some of those showers work their way in later this evening and early tonight. Wind gusts today, not too much of an issue for us. Strongest gusts up to about 15, maybe 20 miles per hour. So here is one model depiction of what radar could look like as we go into later this evening and tonight. This is just a short time frame, again, showing that chance for a few of those kind of spotty showers. Maybe hear a few rumbles of thunder down near the Burley area. Then as we go more so into the second half of Monday, we'll see more precip moving through the area. You'll notice more snow farther up to the north, again on the cooler backside of that system, versus more rain potentially a few thunderstorms in the southern and eastern side of the system where it's a bit warmer. Again, this is as we go really through the second half of Monday there. And there, Monday night into Tuesday, you noticed that little bit of a hint of some snow making its way into the lower elevations. So keeping an eye on that, of course, too, but not looking like a ton of snow for us. Mainly because temperatures on Monday afternoon are going to be back into the 50s and low 60s once again. So another relatively warm day. Technically a little bit below average, or where we would normally see our temperatures for this time of the year, but not by too much now. Winds are going to be picking up on Monday with some gusts much stronger, 20 to 30 miles per hour. Could even see a few 35 mile per hour wind gusts. And then they'll pick up even more Monday night. No products out at this time, but we'll be keeping an eye on this to see if we need to put any wind advisories out potentially. Especially with some of those gusts up to about 45 miles per hour. All right, so we've talked about our precip chances, especially as we go into Monday and then Monday night into Tuesday morning. Now, we could see some decent rainfall out of this. Models showing anywhere from basically 0.15 to about half an inch of rain. Again, we'll have to really be watching parts of the southeastern corner of the state there, where there is still plenty of snow. When we put rain on the snow, that helps melt it even faster. And we'll be watching mainly for some more aerial flooding as we go through the week ahead. Again, really focusing on that area, but it's not to say we couldn't see some in the rest of the eastern parts of Idaho. As far as the snow chances, or looking at probabilities of snow totals 2 inches or more, you'll see those aren't particularly high until you more so get into those more mountainous areas like the Bear River Range, and then up north into parts of the central mountains. Around the Galena Summit area, I've got about a 50 to 60% chance of seeing at least 2 inches of snow. But again, this is really going to be limited to those much higher elevations, basically 7,000 to 7,500 feet and above. Again, here's a more of a look at some of those snow totals with some number values here. Again, it's going to be the peaks that see the most. The rest of us, not a whole lot, less than an inch for most of the area. And that includes that potential for that convergence band to pop up as we go Monday night into Tuesday morning. Down here in the valleys, again, expect to see less than an inch of snow out of that. And that certainly won't last long as we warm up our temperatures in the second half of the week ahead. So here's a look at one model's output for snowmelt throughout the day today. Not necessarily focusing just on the numbers, but I wanted to show you the difference between expected snowmelt today versus Monday. And Monday, you see that jumps up quite a bit. Again, it's trying to pick up on some of that rain on snow. Whether or not it's doing that perfectly, probably not. But again, kind of gives you an idea. I'll back up and then go forward just so you can see that jump and the differences there of today, where it'll be fairly dry, versus Monday, where we are going to see some more of that rain on snow. Temperatures as we get into the second half of the week. By Tuesday, most of us are still in the 50s to some low 60s. Wednesday morning, thankfully, in the southeastern corner of the state there, we're still going to see temperatures below freezing to help slow down some of that melting. But by Wednesday afternoon, we're starting to warm back up with more of us into the upper 50s to low 60s. Thursday morning, again, looking at the same area, a few more spots are starting to creep up closer to or even just above the freezing mark. And then by Thursday afternoon, temperatures make it back into the low to mid 60s for a lot of the Snake Plain, potentially some low 70s even into parts of the Magic Valley. So we continue warming up. A weak cold front's going to make its way into the area Thursday night into Friday morning, so that will cool us a few degrees. Not going to have a big impact on our temperatures, though, just a slight cool down there. So again, today we will be a little bit warmer. We've got more precip returning later this evening into tonight with rain showers on and off throughout the day on Monday. Could hear a few rumbles of thunder with that too. Snow is going to be much higher in elevation, really above about 7,500 feet. So really limited to more of those peaks. Warming as we go into the second half of the week. We'll continue to be watching for more flooding risks, again, as we just do some of the general melting, but then as we put some of that rain on top of snow as we go throughout the day on Monday. So, again, make sure you stay up to date on the latest weather information. You can follow us on social media. You can find our forecasts online. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can always give us a phone call or an email. And as we go through the next several days, if you do happen to see any new flooding, again, send us a message any of those ways with updates on what you're seeing. That's always appreciated, so we can help disseminate the latest information on flooding and flooding potential.